We begin tonight with breaking news out of Ludlow, where crews are battling a structure fire in the Poole Street area. Welcome, everyone, to Western Mass News at 10 on this Wednesday. I'm Chris Pisano. We turn things over now to Western Mass News reporter Matt Price, who's live for us from that scene. Matt, what can you tell us at this point?
Well, Chris, it's still an active scene at the moment. However, crews have slowly been cleaning up after this fire that occurred earlier this evening. I'm just going to get out of the way and ask my photographer, Ben, to zoom in on what we're looking at. This is a house that's located at 484 Poole Street, just in front of Aldo Drive. And this is a pretty significant fire. In fact, thanks to our friends at the Ludlow Fire Department, you can see through that light a gaping hole right through the middle of this house. What we have been told by the Ludlow Fire Department is there are early indications that this fire was caused by a lightning strike. Apparently, there is a tree in the back of this house that suffered damage from that strike, or early indications of that strike, and that caused flames to spark in this home. We understand that 3 people and a cat were inside the home at the time of this fire. Before fire departments arrived to help extinguish the flames, they were able to get out safely. So no injuries reported, which was really good news. We should also note it took a little bit to knock down these flames because this is an area of Ludlow where there are no hydrants. This is a part of Poole Street with no hydrants, so they had to bring in tankers from multiple departments, including Palmer, Bondsville, Belchertown, and Westover. So this was a pretty significant fire, again located here at 484 Poole Street. Early indications are this was caused by a lightning strike. The scene is wrapping up, but an investigation is underway. And again, thankfully, no injuries reported as this fire has now been deemed under control. Reporting live in Ludlow, Matt Price, Western Mass News.